What's the most blatant case of favoritism you've ever witnessed? My mom told my brother a very boring family secret and he told me. I mentioned it to her and she got pissed off and said he shouldn't be telling other people about that. It's just for family. I had to remind her that I'm also a member of the family. When I was 16, my 13-year-old sister got a brand new cell phone. I never had a phone, and I still didn't at the time. I worked 3 jobs in college just to survive. My parents paid my sister's tuition, rent, and bills. They also got her a brand new car. I spent my college years working and using public transportation. My sister spent hers partying and going on road trips with her brand new car. When I graduated college, I got nothing. My sister got a brand new MacBook, which was stolen a few months later because she left it in her unlocked car. My mother constantly told my sister that she loved her growing up. My mother only said it to me once, in the context of I love you, but I don't like you. I have plenty more of these stories. And, no, I don't speak with my parents or sister anymore. I went no contact with my entire family a couple years ago. It's been lonely, but so much more peaceful. I'm in therapy to heal from all the abuse my family put me through. What I posted is only the tip of the iceberg. My sister is a mess, honestly. She can't hold down a job, and she's awful with her finances. She's 31 and my mother does everything for her. Pays her bills, raises her kid, and so on. My sister is going nowhere in life, and I think it's partly because my mother enabled her too much growing up, and she never learned how to be self-reliant. Not my problem anymore. Came home from a night out while living with my parents when I was younger. Me and my bro, 4 years younger, didn't have a good relationship at that time because of the favoritism. I rarely go out, and I was having a beer with some friends. Came home about 1 AM at the same time as my brother, and I got an earful from dad why I was home so late, and he turned to my bro with a smile on his face and said, "Hey, you're home early. Didn't have a good time." And I was like, WTF. Things improved after I moved out and now my little bro is nearly my best friend. My brother got everything he ever asked for. Brand new PCS or phones, his driver's license, a new car, you name it, and he got it all. Meanwhile I was wearing hand-me-downs, had an old Nokia 3310. This was about when Apple launched the first iPhone, and had to work after school to afford getting my license, paying for school trips, and buying a PC for school. She still to this day denies favoring him. So for some backstory, my sister has always been entitled. I had some special medication when I was younger, and I made the damn mistake of taking it in front of her. She thought that, since I could take it, it would be safe for her too, so down goes the pill, and out comes the illness. When she admitted to taking my medication, my parents were okay with it, and basically ruled out if as an accident. Another incident happened at my graduation. I had a small party with me and my friends and we invited only our families. My sister decided it was okay to invite about 15 of her friends without asking. They then proceeded to wreck the party and its venue and complain about how we chose a bad place to have a party and how we should invited them and how we should be better people. Then about 3 months ago me and my husband got married and we are a happy couple with a baby on the way. My sister then came to me and said we need to talk. I thought she would try and bring up a petty thing that happened years ago and say she was hurt or concerned by my behavior. Boy was I wrong. She said that my husband always was being creepy around her and that she feels uncomfortable around him. She insisted that I divorce my husband as I'm her sister and she knows I want what is best for her sister. I went ballistic on how she had ruined everything in my life and that she can't always have her way and how the world doesn't evolve around her. She broke down into tears saying I was a bitch to her all her life and how I should be dead. She then proceeded to smash pictures of me and my husband around my flat saying, "Die, you son of a bitch." I was starstruck and ordered her to get out my house. I later got a call from my parents saying that my sister told them I hit her and screamed profanities at her. I told them what happened with photographic evidence. They apologized and they and my sister haven't talked to me since. My sister and mum are both entitled So I have many stories about their dumb sh*t, but this the least horrific this they have done. The characters are me, M, my entitled mum, S, my entitled Cs, NS, my normal Cs, ND, my normal dad. So I had my own room, because I'm the only male, except my dad in my family, but since my youngest sister, NS, started sharing a room with S started crying to M for her own room, my mum, who never really liked me, because I wasn't a girl, she said it multiple times, tried to kick me out of my room, but every time my dad and I would remind her that I was a boy and couldn't be sharing a room with a girl because there was boy things I would do with my girlfriend, or by myself anyway. Because of her I wanted to move out as soon as possible, so when I went to university my mum gave my room to my S. Even though I have left most of my stuff there, she just threw it out. So one weekend I come home with my suitcase, I shout, "Is anyone home?" and there was no answer. So I carry my suitcase up to my room. As I get there I can hear someone moaning. I don't know who it is, so I quickly opened the door and see S doing it with her BF. S, OMG, get the duck out of my room. Me, no, this is my room. I go away for 2 weeks and you move in. S, go away, let us finish up. Me, no, go to her room. S, I'm in my room. I give up and let them finish. While they were finishing I text my dad and tell him what happened after a talk to S again. Me, where is all my stuff? S, M threw it out. M enters to convo. I didn't know she was there. M, what are you doing here? You are not meant to come back for 6 years. I'm a medical student. Me, where is all my F*** ing stuff? M, I didn't think you would need it. Me, all of those things I brought with my own money, because you didn't buy me anything. Who gave you the duck right to touch them? M, bullcrap, your dad brought you those things. Me, shut up. I grabbed my suitcase and walked out of the house and went back to my apartment near my university. A bit of backstory. I, 19 female, recently moved back home for the COVID-19 quarantine. I was out of state for college and wanted to be close to family, and I brought back home my gaming PC and my little bird, a kike named Juno. I also brought back my Xbox 360 and my Xbox One, just so that I wouldn't be leaving my consoles and games in a flat that could potentially be broken into. This sounds like a lot of stuff to haul around, but everything was pretty portable, and I only have 10 to 15 games between both consoles. Also, it may seem irrelevant now, but my dad passed in 2018, and I'm still grieving his loss. Now for the story. I have my birdcage and PC set up in my bedroom for the time being. Not a problem with anyone in my home at all. I left those boxes in our little family office, a room with a work desk and TV, also hooked up with a PS4. Last night I decided to play some Bioshock on my 360, so I hooked up the console and played away until about 11 PM, when I finally decided to hit the hay. Now, at around 9 AM, when I woke up for good, I had gone to the kitchen to grab some breakfast and a cup of tea. When I sat down at the table I noticed sounds coming from both my younger brother, 9Y/0, and my younger sister's, 11Y/0, rooms. I'd gone to check it out, and sure as shit, they had hooked up my consoles to TVs in their rooms. I don't like that they have TVs in their rooms to begin with, but it's not my place to parent. Immediately I was frustrated and asked my younger sister why she had taken my Xbox from the office, and she told me that it wasn't fair, that our brother had one and she didn't. After asking her again what she meant, I found out that my mother had allowed it. Right away I went to talk to my mother about it and was shut down. As soon as I walked in the room, I told her that it wasn't fair, that they had been given my belongings without my permission, and that I'd like those boxes to be set back up in the office where at least everyone had access to them. She told me that this was her house and her rules, and my younger siblings would be keeping the consoles that I paid for in their rooms. I began to protest again, but she absolutely tore into me. She told me that she was absolutely sick of my behavior and that I needed to just let some things go. She said that since I'd lost my dad I'd become materialistic and only relied on objects to keep his memories. I told her that it wasn't fair to take that road and that I'd paid for everything in my possession. My bird, my consoles, and my PC were all totally paid for by me, myself, and she finished by sending me to my room, lol, saying that my dad would be incredibly disappointed in the woman I've become, and that my inability to share with family would eventually be the death of me. She also told me that my dad was an emotional escape for me. I'm not actually hurt by what she said about nearly everything, but I'm fuming by how she managed to drag my dad into this and use my grief against me. She won't budge on the subject at all, and she's now taking every opportunity to point out how "lost" I would be without them. My younger siblings are also pointing out how great the gifts that mom got them are. I know it's all petty garbage to make me upset, but I'm genuinely hurt, and I don't know what to do. I'm being villainized for wanting my belongings to remain my belongings. Am I wrong for being so upset over consoles? When me and my brother were younger, we would always get things equally whenever we got the chance, whether it was McDonald's or candy from a local store that was near us. At the time, I was 9 and my brother was 7. Now back in 2013, we moved back to my hometown after me, my younger brother, and my mom have lived in many dangerous places. The last place we lived was surrounded by so much violence and gunshots while me and my brother pretty much on our own. She was a single mom at the time and was working hard to pay rent and put food in the table. Everything was good until my brother gotten interested into sports. My brother was, and still is, very active. He loves to play basketball, football, and track. Now, in 2020, he's getting many college offers. I'm happy for him, but his head had grown so freaking big. Anywho, when my brother was beginning to play sports, my mom was so proud of him. She even tried to get me to play sports, but gave up when I said I didn't want to. Along the years, my mom spoils my brother to the core. Almost every time my little brother asks for something, my mom would get it for him. Whether it's something like food or shoes that cost over $100. Not to mention, she would spend lots and lots of time with him. The few times she would say no, my brother would throw a tantrum and ignore my mom whenever she calls for him. You would think that this would apply to me. Nope. Each time I ask for small things or items that didn't cost very much, I always met with "we'll see." In my mom's language, that mostly meant no with rare chance of yes. It got a lot worse when my little brother got in his mid-teens and I gotten a job to help around the house just because. My mom worshipped my brother while basically forgetting I even existed for years. She spent so much time with him as she took him places to go without even taking me. Since I now have a job, I was required to pay for my own things, while she continued to spend money in my brother, who was more than old enough to get his own job. Not to mention, he talks to her any kind of way. My mom always sticks up to him. I did this a few times and I always got in trouble. My little brother hardly around, but still got a brand new bed and TV, while I was stuck with a 60 or 80-year-old bed with metal springs that constantly cuts my skin, leaving behind lots of cuts on my thighs and chest and no TV. It got to the point where my mom's fiance was beginning to get mad at my mom. My stepdad was angry at how she would blow money on my younger sibling, but only get me a few things. My stepdad talked to her and is now forcing her to try to spend time with me. It was to the point that now I don't want to spend any time with her, and I'm not gonna make her.